Well, let's run through social media real quick, Benny, and we're going to wrap this puppy up. You ready? Let's start with the Broncos because again, they've been, getting their act together. Nathaniel Hackett hires Jerry Rosberg to help with game management. So this was a team that was having some serious problems, with on-field game management, questions about whether or not to go with it with Russ and all of that kind of stuff. Same question kind of, situation almost like with Mahomes there. But I think most people thought that he should have gave Russ an opportunity. But he was trying to handle a lot of stuff, and he has a lot of rookies. We talked about early on when we talked about the brain trust. We said, man, all these guys are so young and so inexperienced. Russell's going to love this because they're all going to have to be open to what he says, and he's going to have a lot of big inputs. It's not working out that great, but he went and he said, okay, we have a problem. He made a hire. Not sure if you're familiar with this at all, but I did want to mention it. If you recognize the problem and he tried to solve it, you got to give him credit for that.
Well, yeah, I got to give him credit for that. And I think this was probably something that he and the organization kind of agreed on. I'm not exactly sure whose idea it was, but they obviously agreed on it. It's a step in the right direction, but he's not the first guy to have trouble managing a game. Mike McCarthy still does it. Andy Reid had the same problem. There's several other head coaches that have had the same problem. So it's nothing for him to be super embarrassed about. This is his first time being a head coach. These kind of things are going to happen. What's paramount for the Broncos is that Russell gets himself together and starts making a better connection with those receivers because their run game is solid. Their defense is solid. It's about Russell getting the ball downfield when he needs to and hitting receivers.
All righty. It's about Russell getting his act together. So, Benny, does Brady need Gronk to win? Now, it's funny. I said that Gronk is his security blanket. He's that guy that you could go to in a pinch and know that for the most part he's going to win. I'm starting to wonder about Lamar and what's his tight end's name?
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews, man. Mark Andrews, just him and Lamar have a thing going on, man. And that's a nice place for Lamar to go when things get a bit dicey. And I think Lamar's recognized that and it's helped his numbers a lot. So him and Mark Andrews are together. But I saw another article and it was really funny because they were basically postulating that had Gronk been healthy when the Patriots played the Giants for that Super Bowl, the Patriots.
Oh, come on.
Yes, they did.
Did he play?
The pot. He was injured. They said he played. He was pretty much ineffective.
Did he play?
Hey, I said he did.
Okay.
He did.
I don't want to hear
it. I knew you didn't. Hey, Benny, the Pro Bowl. They finally doing something with that piece of junk game. Getting rid of it. How long we been talking about that stinky Pro Bowl?
Yeah, but you know what? We never really came up with any solutions. I know you thought about it. I didn't spend much brain power on it. If they're going to have a flag football game, I guess that might be a little fun to watch.
Not if they play in those same NFL rules that them other guys play, where you catch the ball, everybody got to stand.
What do you think they're going to do? They're not going. What?
Oh,
that's exactly what they're going to do.
I can't imagine. I can see us now. The Pro Bowl with the tackle is bad enough, but really to have the little fake flag, if you're not even gonna give it to me.
No, it's non-contact flag.
That's what all it is. That's what it is. So why even mess
at least guys will be able to actually use their skill sets. Okay, and it basically takes all the linemen out of it.
I know. So that's big guys. Anywho, You know me. I wanted to make it a big money game, make it after the season, make it a spectacle. They're not going to do that. So,
No way.
ah,
The
we
skills
talked about
competition might be fun.
could be, could be, could be. We talked a little bit about you losing your wide receiver, one of your top performing wide receivers. Just quickly, Benny. I mean, he's literally running down the field. And it doesn't look like anything happened. I mean, what could have happened that could have done his knee in like that, just in that casual jog across a turf field? It was just, it's just weird.
His foot got caught.
It didn't look like it. I mean, really, it didn't look like it. But that's
Yep.
what everybody's saying. Your man Beckham weighed in here. Do you think the NFL should go to all grass, just make it a grass league?
Well, it's not like people don't get hurt on grass too. But uh, the problem with turf fields is you run differently, but people forget they have to throttle down a little differently. He was actually finishing up a route, the play was over, and he was slowing down. And it's almost like he dragged his foot a little bit. It stuck just for a fraction of a second, and his ACL popped. What are you going to do? I don't know what to tell you. The conditions of a grass field can cause the same thing if they're not exactly right. Just because you're on grass doesn't necessarily mean that your foot can't get stuck.
Okay, so you're kind of not on the all grass thing, as far as you're
No, I'm
concerned.
not. I'm not.
Okay, all right, all right. Well, that was the question. That was the question. All right, Benny. Jackson State plays in the FCS, and the Heisman Trophy has never been awarded to a player at that level, but former SWAC quarterback Doug Williams, Grambling State, and Steve McNair, Alcorn State, received Heisman votes in the 1970s and 1990s, respectively. This article is about Shador Sanders, and what Dion is saying is that his numbers should put him up for the Heisman. They should be talking to him about a Heisman just like they're talking to all of the other players. I put something in, here it is. This is the graphic. See if I can make this a little bit larger so we can all see it. But let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. So Shador Sanders, 1,351 yards, 14 touchdowns, one interception. Bryce Young, 1,029 yards, 13 touchdowns, two interceptions. CJ Stroud, 1,222 yards, 16 touchdowns. So yards wise, he's ahead of Bryce and CJ. Touchdown wise, he's right in between them. He's got one less interception than Bryce. What do you think about Shador getting some Heisman love?
Well, it's never too early to start a Heisman campaign for a college player if the school actually believes in him and wants to push him. So that's all good. Okay. He'll probably get some votes, just like Steve McNair did, but there's no way he's going to win it. There's just no way. The first thing they're going to point at is the competition that he's playing against. Okay. He's going up against teams that some of these Division I teams underpay to come play them so that they can kill him. Okay. This kind of conversation runs into that other conversation that we had about HBCUs going to play Alabama's and LSU's and teams like that so that they can collect money and get their butts kicked.
Yeah, a couple of those games that were the teams that got paid went in there and won in the last couple of weeks.
You're not
Notre
talking about
Dame lost to the team they played.
Oh, that's Appalachian State. Appalachian State ain't no joke. They should have known better. They should have known better. They earned that money.
No, I don't think that was Appalachian State. Do they wear green? That beat
No,
Notre Dame?
Marshall's good.
They paid Marshall.
Yeah, they paid Marshall, and they should, and they're sorry. And they're sorry. Marshall's no joke. Marshall is good. But you know what? I commend Notre Dame for paying Marshall rather than paying FAMU.
Okay, a better competition.
They paid better competition, and they end up losing the game. And I'm sure they thought they were going to win it. Marshall's no joke. Marshall's good all the time. Let's remember, Randy Moss went to Marshall. Chad Pennington was his quarterback. Okay, these are NFL guys. Marshall's no joke. And Appalachian State's no joke either. Appalachian State's been good for the last 3 years that I can vividly remember.
Okay.
So, yeah, those I'm talking about sure wins. I'm talking about teams that just can't. They can't come. You know why those teams can't compete? They can't compete on the line of scrimmage. Skill player wise, yeah. But line of scrimmage wise, they just can't compete. They just don't get the guys with enough size and power to compete with those Division I schools.
Well, that's what happens. That's what happens. Well, that wraps it up for me, Benny. We had a pretty good session here. Any last words?
I'm done. Go Noles.
Go Noles.